Every bad thing that ever happened to you had a warning. Not most of them, all of them. A feeling, a signal, something that didn't quite fit. And somewhere in those moments before it happened, you felt it. You just didn't move. That is not a character flaw. That is not weakness. That is the result of never being taught what the signal actually was or what to do with it. In protection, we have a term for the window before something goes wrong. We call it left of bang. Bang is the moment a threat declares itself. The weapon drawn, the aggression launched, the moment everyone in the room finally knows something is wrong. But by the time bang arrives, you are already behind. Your options are shrinking. Your nervous system is flooded. Your decision making is compromised. And everything you could have done to prevent that moment from arriving is no longer available. Left of bang is everything before that. The entire window, the signals, the cues, the shifts, the whispers that exist on the timeline before the declared threat. And here is the truth that changes everything. Bang does not appear from nowhere. It is constructed brick by brick, cue by cue, signal by signal, across a timeline that begins long before anything visible happens. Every single brick was a moment you could have moved. Think about every major incident you have ever heard of: an attack, an assault, a violent event in a public space. Go back and look at the timeline before it. There was almost always someone who left early, someone who changed their mind at the door, someone who suddenly felt uncomfortable and found a reason to be somewhere else. Those people were not lucky. They were not psychic. They were reading signals their nervous system was sending them, and they trusted them. They moved quietly, without drama, without needing to explain why. They just moved, and they were already somewhere else when bang arrived. That is left of bang. Not paranoia, not hypervigilance, not scanning every room for threats like a security camera on legs. Presence. The quiet, regulated ability to feel when a rhythm has shifted before anyone else in the room has consciously processed it. In 20 years of operating in high consequence environments, I have never met a professional who stayed safe because they reacted fast enough. Every operator I have worked alongside who consistently came home because they moved early, because they sensed the shift before it resolved into something visible, because they were living in the left of bang window as a permanent state of being, not a technique they applied occasionally. And here is what I need you to understand. That capability is not exclusive to operators. It is not locked behind a badge or a training program. It is a human capacity. The same nervous system that keeps a trained operator left of bang in a hostile environment is the same nervous system that sent you a signal the last time something went wrong in your own life. The difference is not biology. The difference is training. The difference is being taught to recognize what the signal is and what to do with it before the window closes. So what does left of bang actually look like in everyday life? It looks like the person who pauses at the entrance of a car park before deciding to walk back to the main street. The parent who changes the plan because something felt off about the venue, not because they could explain it. The professional who trusts the unease they feel about a meeting and arrives with a different level of awareness. The traveler who moves seats on a train because something about the energy in that carriage shifted. None of those people created a scene. None of them could have explained exactly what they sensed, but every one of them moved before bang became possible. And that moment, quiet, reversible, invisible, is the highest quality safety action a human being can take. Because if they were wrong, nothing broke, And if they were right, the threat never had an opportunity to declare itself. That is the left of bang advantage. Not reacting better, not fighting harder, not being tougher, being earlier. Bang does not appear from nowhere. It never did. Every incident you have ever been in or narrowly avoided had a timeline. It had whispers, signals. The question is never whether they were there. The question is whether you were trained to hear them and whether you trusted yourself enough to move on them before the window closed. That training exists. That capability is buildable. For operators who want to operate permanently left of bang in complex environments, for civilians who are done arriving late to moments that already had a warning, for parents, leaders, travelers, anyone who moves through the world and wants to move through it earlier, that pathway lives at Novert Group. Link is below. Next video, they handed you a 3-word slogan and called it a survival plan. Run, hide, fight. I'm going to show you why that card on the wall frames you as a victim before the incident even begins and what replaces it. Everywhere, nowhere, always.